Have you ever watched a brilliant sunrise and felt a pang of regret, knowing you only saw it because you were up all night worrying, not because you chose to be there? We often hear that the early hours are golden, but what does that truly mean when your own rhythm feels out of sync with the world? What if this secret isn't just about setting an alarm, but about reclaiming a part of the day that feels entirely peacefully your own? Let's explore a different kind of beginning. In a coastal city where the fog clung to the docks until noon, there was a woman named Alina. She worked the evening shift at a call center, her voice a steady calm for frustrated customers from 7 p.m. until 3 a.m. Her world was tinted by the glow of a computer screen and the endless hum of the overnight HVAC. She lived in a studio apartment that smelled perpetually of takeout, with a view of a brick wall and the constant, distant clang of ship buoys. Alina wasn't just tired, she felt invisible. Her life happened in the margins while the city slept or partied. She'd scroll through her feed at 4 a.m., seeing friends' daylight hikes, bakery visits, and casual coffees, a world that operated on a schedule she could never join. She had dreams, too, of becoming a graphic designer, but after her shift, her mind was frayed, her creativity buried under fatigue. The cycle felt absolute. Work through the night, sleep through the day, exist in the dusk. The turning point wasn't dramatic. It was a quiet Tuesday when a letter arrived. It was an acceptance for an online design mentorship she'd applied to in a moment of hope months prior. The deadline for the first project was in 10 weeks. Panic, then a crushing wave of how washed over her. She had the opportunity in her hand, but no time in her life to hold it. Later that week, during her lunch break at midnight, she scrolled past an interview with a renowned illustrator she admired. The interviewer asked, "When do you find your best focus?" The artist's answer was simple. "In the silence just after dawn. That's my sanctuary. The world hasn't started making its demands yet. It's just me and the work." A sanctuary. The word stuck with Alina. She had no sanctuary. She had shifts and sleep and the limbo in between. The next evening, on her bus ride to work, she saw an elderly man sitting across from her, meticulously sketching in a notebook. He was a regular, always on the 5 p.m. bus. Intrigued, Alina finally asked him about his drawings. He was a retired architect, he said, and this was his creation hour. He explained, "I treat this bus ride like my private studio. You have to claim your creative time, not wait for it to be given to you. Often it's in the stolen moments, the quiet pockets everyone else overlooks." He saw the longing in her eyes. "What's your passion, young lady?" She told him about the design mentorship and her impossible schedule. He nodded thoughtfully. "Your night ends at 3 a.m. The world is still asleep until 7 a.m. That's not a dead zone. That's a blank canvas." He offered her a challenge, scribbled on the back of a receipt, the Sanctuary Protocol. He said, "For 70 days, go straight to your studio, your kitchen table, after work. From 3:30 a.m. to 5:30 a.m., that is your time. No distractions. First hour, learn your craft. Second hour, create something. Anything, even if it's bad. Then sleep from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Protect that sleep. See what you have built after 70 days. The first week was a battle against her own biology. The 3 a.m. urge to collapse into bed was a physical force. But she'd brew tea, open her laptop, and start with a single tutorial. In that profound, city-wide silence, something happened. The fog outside her window matched the quiet in her mind. There were no pings, no calls, no expectations. Just her and the software slowly becoming friends. She didn't feel tired, she felt focused in a way she never had. This was her secret time, a shift in perspective that changed everything. The project for her mentorship began to take shape in those blue-hour sessions. By day 50, she was not just learning design, she was developing her own style. She slept deeply knowing she had already invested in herself before the day had even begun for most. When the mentorship project deadline arrived, Alina submitted a portfolio piece she was genuinely proud of. It caught the eye of her mentor, who connected her with a small startup looking for a freelance designer. The job offered day-rate projects she could do on her own schedule. A year later, Alina had transitioned to full-time freelance design. She kept her sanctuary hours, though she now sometimes started at 4 a.m. She had reclaimed her afternoons for sunlight, for meetings, for living. Her studio apartment now had plants, and the view, while still of bricks, was framed by her own vibrant artwork. Her story reveals a profound truth. Transformation doesn't require waiting for the perfect conditions. It requires repurposing the time you already have. The quiet, overlooked hours are not voids. They are fertile ground. While the world is silent, you can build the loudest parts of your future. So I want to ask you, what is one overlooked hour in your current day that you could reclaim as your creative or growth sanctuary? Is it the hour after everyone goes to bed? The quiet 60 minutes before your household wakes up? The lunch break you usually spend scrolling? Tell me in the comments below. My sanctuary hour will be blank, and I will use it to build blank. Let's share our commitments. Your journey doesn't have to start at 5 a.m. It has to start in a moment you decide is wholly yours. If Alina could find her canvas in the pre-dawn dark, what can you build in your chosen silence? If this idea of finding your own transformative time resonates with you, subscribe to the Inspire Tales for more stories of people who rewrote their lives not by changing their entire day, but by claiming a single powerful piece of it. Remember, the life you want isn't built in giant leaps during crowded hours. It's built in consistent, quiet steps, taken while the rest of the world is asleep, distracted, or unaware. Your sanctuary is waiting. Will you show up?